So, you're the Omega Sweat. You're looking for that secret way to level up as fast as possible in Beyond Light when it drops on Tuesday with your raid team. Getting ready for the Deepstone Crypt is a very hard task, and leveling up is also just as hard. Fear not, ladies and gentlemen, here is the complete and full guide on how to level up all three characters to contest cap 1230 light so that you and your raid team have the best chance possible in the raid race this year against sweaties like me who still can't even aim the gun correctly. Starting off with the first and most important thing out of all the leveling things that I will say today to you, get that seasonal artifact. The seasonal artifact has an XP leveling system. The more XP you turn in and rank up, the more power levels you will get. Therefore, the more mods you will be able to obtain.
But Pigeon, power levels are turned off for the contest cap and beyond.
Yes, I know, but you still want to be able to get the seasonal mods, and you want to be able to get the power level bonus up so that you can compete in things like ordeals, nightfalls, grandmaster nightfalls, things like that. That's what you want to be able to do, so get the artifact. Secondly, what I would suggest you do is, since you've all been obviously very good boys and girls and saved up tons and tons of bounties over the past final weeks of Beyond Light, you want to turn those in to get a preemptive bonus on your seasonal artifact. The first thing you want to do is go to a planet with a friend so that you can get that XP bonus and have a ghost shell with guiding light. This increases all your XP gains by 10%. Now, if you don't have that ghost shell that I just had on right there, there are plenty that have there. If you pre-ordered Beyond Light, you have this rim shell that has guiding light. There are many shells. This last bastion shell, many shells have Beyond Light, including shells like this hard link shell that everybody should have gotten, and this shell, the restless shell from the Festival of the Lost. Once you've turned in all your bounties, including the daily bounties and the weekly bounties, saving the crucible bounties, and I will explain why you do that later, you are going to play through the campaign for Beyond Light. Yes, that is what you want to do. The Omega Sweat way is to play through the campaign as quickly as possible. You can enjoy it, though, because it's still a campaign. After you finish the campaign, you want to do lost sectors and public events and strikes. This will net you gear that will level you up to 1200. That is not powerful gear. Now, while you're doing that, make sure for the strikes that you do not have the correct element, and I will tell you why. Right here it says, complete strikes with the same element as the current elemental burn. That will grant you pinnacle or powerful gear, depending on what it is in Beyond Light. You do not want to do that. You want to save that powerful. That is exactly what you want to do. You do not want to turn in and get pinnacle or powerful gear from this. That is not good. What you want to do is do it on a different type of element so that you don't accidentally complete it. Another thing you can do is the risk reward mission from Banshee 44. It is the risk runner mission. It will also grant you gear, and it is repeatable. I believe it is repeatable. So once you do that, you can get your piece of gear for that as well. Now, once you have done all this on your first and your main character for the raid race, what you want to do is do it on your second and third character. So my main character is a hunter, which is what I'll be running for Beyond Light for the raid race. My second character is a warlock. Then I'm going to do my titan as a third character. After I reach 1200 on all three characters, I want to start collecting powerfuls. Now, before what I want to do is every prime engram I receive, meaning this engram right here, turn in immediately. The more prime engrams you turn in, the higher your power level will get, and the higher your power level is, the higher your prime engrams will drop at. It's kind of a snowballing thing, so you want to keep doing this as fast as possible. As soon as you get one, turn it in. Alright, so here comes the grindy part. After you reach 1200 on all 3 characters, what the first thing you want to do is collect all tier 1 powerfuls on your first character. This includes these side Crucible games, these bounties for Zavala, these bounties for Shax and the Gunsmith. You also want to do the Drifter bounties. I don't know what's happening with Gambit next season, but if this is still a thing, you definitely want to do that as well. After you've done all your tier 1 bounties, the second thing you want to do is do the tier 2s and the tier 3s. They will each grant you more and more powerfuls. So you want to do that as much as possible. Don't do any pinnacles yet, meaning don't complete these 3 Gambit matches, don't complete these 4 Crucible matches, and do not do the strikes with the weekly elemental burn. And I will explain why you do that later. Once you do that on your first character, you want to do the same thing on your second and third character. That is basically the exact same thing. After you have reached 1200 on those characters, collect tier 1, tier 2, and tier 3 powerfuls, and then do the same on your third character. So I will be starting on my Hunter, then I'll move to my Warlock, and then my Titan. As far as pinnacles go, the first thing you want to do is complete all pinnacles on your second character, not your first character, your second character. That's because you want to level up your second character as high as possible so that when you transfer all those weapons over to your main character, you have a higher power bonus. After you collect all pinnacles on your second character, the second thing you want to do is collect powerfuls on your main character. Get your powerful character as high as possible. Get your Hunter or whatever your main character is as high as possible. This is where you turn in your Crucible Gambit bounties to get you Valor points or Infamy points that will grant you higher ranks, which will give you more gear. Now you want to wait to turn these in because the higher you get on the Valor or Infamy rank, the higher gear you will get. So that is what you want to do as fast as possible after you have done all the pinnacles on your second character. Now the pinnacle sources are Strikes, Gambit, and Crucible. You can also do Pit of Heresy, although I do not know if that will still be pinnacle. The Garden of Salvation raid. This is also a big pinnacle source. You want to make sure you're definitely doing this one. And then the final pinnacle gear source is Prophecy. Now there is one that you can do that I'm not gonna do, which is Trials of Osiris, and we all know that's a pain in the butt. So if you don't want to do it, go ahead and don't do it. We know the interference mission will be gone, so that is not a source of pinnacles anymore. After you have completed all of the pinnacles on your second character, go ahead and do that on your main character and completely disregard your third character for now. And by this time, it should be the end of the first week, so you can go ahead and relax, do whatever you need to do, have fun. If you have done everything you need to do, including powerfuls and pinnacles, you are ready to move on to week 2. So, the second week is fairly straightforward. The first thing you want to do is collect all the powerful gear on your Titan or your third character, whichever character is the least cared about. In most people's cases, that's the Titan because they're trash. And then you want to collect powerfuls on your second character. Your second character for me is my Warlock. Whatever you care about the second most, that's what you want to collect powerfuls on, starting with tier 1, moving to tier 2, and then going to tier 3 finally. Then you want to do the same thing for your main character. For me, that's my Hunter. After you do all of that, you want to collect all of the pinnacles on your third character. You want to collect all of the pinnacles on your second character. And on your first character, you want to keep doing these Strikes and Gambit stuff, collecting more powerfuls on that character. And then finally, the day before raid day, you want to collect all of the pinnacles on your main character. So for me, that'll be my Hunter. And hopefully you will be able to get to 12:30 by the time the raid drops so that you can compete with your team. Guys, that is all for me. Thank you all for coming and watching, and be sure to check me out on twitch.tv/pigeonlogic. I stream every Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Come and check me out. Have a good time. Talk and chat. We do Raid Sherpas. You guys will get to watch the day one race if you are not already competing. And yeah, thank you so much for coming and watching. And as always, have a great and fantastic rest of your day.